Energy use worldwide is about 70% of the greenhouse gas emissions. We've got to decarbonize the world economy, electrify as many things as we can, and then switch to low carbon energy sources like wind and solar to keep global warming in check. As part of this electrification path, it becomes important not only how much energy you use, but when you use it. And providing visibility and tools to automate is going to be instrumental for that. Here at Sense, we're taking machine learning, data, and consumer-facing applications to make the grid smart, help people manage energy in the home, and actively participate in a cleaner, more resilient future. I've been biking to work for years. I love being outside. I also recognize the importance of being as low impact as you can in all the things you do in your life. Rather than wasting gas driving your car stuck in traffic, you can be out on your bike enjoying the scenery and getting exercise at the same time. Individuals can have a big impact, but the big picture is that there's massive changes that need to happen to get to net negative carbon emissions. I went to school at Carnegie Mellon studying electrical engineering and then moved to MIT as a research scientist. I was working in the early days of machine learning and AI research on speech recognition. So taking signals, having consumer-facing applications to let you interact with your phone to get information. Just over 10 years ago, I wanted to make my home more efficient, and it turns out to be really hard to figure out how to do that. The energy infrastructure world did not have the kind of data, software that we see in other parts of our modern life. I saw this problem that there's just no visibility into energy use in homes, and myself and the two other founders of Sense brought that kind of technology and capabilities into the energy infrastructure space. The electrical grid is actually a very amazing thing. It has to exactly match supply and demand on a second-by-second basis. It's getting stressed with more and more renewables with variable supply, more big demands like heat pumps and EVs, which we have to adopt to have this electrification. This is having a big impact on the grid, and it's being managed with fairly old techniques. It hasn't changed a lot in the last 50 or 100 years. The most important thing about what we're doing is we're shifting from hardware approaches to software and intelligence, and increase the capacity of renewables without massive infrastructure changes. Existing smart meters send data reads every 15 minutes up to the utilities. Our software runs on utility meters, measuring power in your home tens of thousands of times per second. We now have access to 50 million times more data. With that high resolution and AI, we can figure out in real time which appliances are on and off and how much power they're using, just from the detailed fingerprints in the ways that they use power. We also use this high resolution data to see what's happening in the grid itself. We can see where all the EVs are, what the heat pumps are doing, and that becomes super important to the utility to exactly match supply and demand in real time. For example, you don't care when your car gets charged, you want to just make sure it goes far enough tomorrow. So rather than plugging in your car and the interface is charged now, it should be plug in my car, make sure it goes far enough tomorrow. You manage when it's best to charge my car for me. In our case, it's super important to maintain consumer trust. The data belongs to the consumers. The utility has access to aggregate data just like they do today from meters, but they don't have access to the detailed data about what happens in people's homes. At the moment, consumers that actively use our application can save 10 or 20% of their power, but over time, as we're adding more integrations with devices for automation, we think those numbers just keep going up and up. Today we're in about 100,000 homes in North America, and last year saved about 22,000 tons of CO2 emissions. Our main goal as a company is how do we get this kind of capability into the hands of all consumers, and it happens by working with utilities and other infrastructure providers to make this ubiquitous. It just comes with your home, it's just built in, without even charging the consumer for the capability. Eventually, we want this technology in all homes, both in the US and globally. And at that point, the CO2 impact is going to be game-changing. And it's so fulfilling to take what we are doing and now apply it to a clear global problem with real impact worldwide. The pathway for decarbonizing the energy world is becoming really clear. It's going to be hard and takes time, but we are actually fairly optimistic we know how to solve this. I'm Mike Phillips. I'm the CEO and one of the founders of Sense.